Hello and welcome to part 5 of my Imperial Night Titan guide. Let's do this. Once your Night Titan is completely washed twice with the Nuln oil and it's completely dry, probably about 1-2 hours after you first did it, I'd say be reasonable and give about an hour and a half. Make sure that you've got no little areas in there that are still wet or whatnot. I'm working on my other Night Titan at the same time. I don't know if you can see, but he's only had one wash. There are some shiny places in the crevices and things, so that's still wet. You don't want that at all if you can help it. And all you're going to do is get your big dry brush that you had before, that's been your companion so far. Let's really just bundle this with the models. What do you think? I think that's a good idea. You're going to use this, which is dry Necron compound. It's a dry base paint, so yeah, no shaking required or anything, and you really want your brush as dry as possible. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to dab a bit on there, move a bit on your palette, and then do a gentle light brush of all your metallic parts, just to bring all the edges out. Try and avoid the bronze areas if you can. It'd be a nightmare because then you have to paint it Balthasar gold again, wash it a couple of times. You really want to avoid all your bronze areas if you can. So I'll show you this. So once that is complete and you have used your Necron compound, you can put that to one side. Now what you're going to need to do is pick out all of the moving parts that would see action all the time. All the pistons. So you've got 4 pistons there. I'd say the ball and socket joint, and the pistons, the very small pistons for the hip joints as well, I'd say, and of course the pistons for the weapon arms themselves. This is why it was important not to glue the actual piston arms themselves, not to glue them onto the model. Again, it's going to be vitally important to keep them as they were, because if you keep them loose, then you can just work on them, and then once they're finished, then you can play around with it and glue it into place. So that was another benefit. But now all I'm going to do is do the little pieces of metal in the pistons, and you should normally use Runefang steel, which is one of the lightest ones. I don't have Runefang, so I've got the old Mithril silver, which is just as good. It's brighter than chainmail, and I think you want the brightest you can, because then you're going to put a bit of Agrax Earthshade on the top and bottom. Okay, so once you've painted with Mithril silver or with Runefang steel, whichever version you've got, you've painted all the pistons and areas that see a lot of action, just in there too, if you can see that, and then you've left that dry for a while. That's the same for the weapons as well, the little pistons. Once you've left that to dry for, by the time you've finished the weapons and you've gone on to the main model, when you go back to the weapons, it should be dry. A little bit of Agrax Earthshade on the near the seals of the piston, just at the top and the bottom, and then that kind of gives it a feel of kind of like a pneumatic kind of piston or whatnot, that it's well lubed. So there you go. And now what we're going to do is we've finished the more or less the detail side of things for the main body. What we're going to do now is we're going to concentrate on the eyes. The first thing you're going to need to do for those eyes is just base them black straight away to give them a nice little base. Try not to go over on the rings. So I've started off with, I've decided to colour his lenses, or his eyes, whatever you want to call them, green. My previous Night Titan was red, this guy's going to be green, and I think my flaming one is going to be orange eyes. So wish me luck on that one. Anyway, So green, base coat of, after the Abaddon black has dried, base coat of Caliban green, followed by, so for me, what I'm going to do is then put a bit of snot green, I don't know what the new one's called, but snot green next, and then highlight it with a bit of moot green, and then put a one dot each of scar white, or whatever it's called now, and then after that's dry, I'm going to put a layer of varnish over the lenses so they reflect a little bit, and I'll show you that in a moment. While you're waiting for your eyes to dry, in a way, what I suppose you could do now and again is just get a bit of black, get a bit of Abaddon black on your dry brush, really dry it out, and gently dry brush the weapons. If you've seen my assembly guide, you will have noticed that I drill holes for the guns outlet, the barrels, which is important, I think, because it just adds a bit more realism rather than painting a little dot on there. I just think that's stupid. So dry brush black, and what you want to be doing is flicking it this way rather than flicking it that way, so you've got more paint or pigment on the end of the barrel going out, so it looks like there's more carbonization or whatever you want to put. Maybe not there. You can do it for the heat, but you don't want that to detract from the barrel itself. And the same for the battle cannon. This Night Titan is gonna, the battle cannon is gonna, I can just flick that away to reflect the ammunition shooting out, and kind of leaving the marks of its of the propellant around the edge of the barrel. So you might want to think about doing that. I'll show you next when the eyes are done and this carbonization or whatever. You may also want to do it on the exhaust vents as well, especially around the little holes themselves, but it's up to you. Okay, so just a bit of a recap then. I've completed the eyes, if you can see them. Very, very kind of scary looking in a way. What I've done is, because he's got the Forge World, you know, House Tehran bits and pieces, I've blinged him up a little bit more than the other Night Titan. I've given him some pimped out custom knee joints there, and little you know, custom bolts, things like that, things that you do with a motorbike, to be honest. So I've pimped him out a bit, and he's gonna get gold feet, not fully gold feet, but a gold trim around his little toes there. A recap: I've painted the heavy stubber with black. I'm gonna put some detail on that. I've completed the gun. His helmet, or his face, head is finished. I've just got to Agrax Earthshade the bronze there. The body's coming on. I've also dry brushed black in the exhaust vents. Dry brushed it on the top to give the appearance of it, you know, a lot of exhaust gases coming out of there. And I've also outlined the very rim of the exhaust there with bronze, just to make it pop out that little bit more. It's almost finished. I've just got to make a few things pop out, and every single bolt I'm going to go along with Mithril Silver, every single bolt, and there are a lot, as well as highlight the gun, and I need to do the shield, but I might do the shield a little bit later. Arms wise, I've painted the chainsword black, and we'll be changing the actual teeth of the blade at some point very shortly. Or another point that I forgot to mention is all the cables I've painted black, not the metallic kind of cables, but just the wiring I've painted black in places. So that's an important piece. I've also put black on the main part of the gun. It's a bit messy, so I will need to tidy that up a bit. And again, I think there's a hidden cable there that just gone over with black. So it is coming along. It's coming along quite well. The skeleton is pretty much almost complete, I would say. Just a few more touch-ups and some detail, and then I will actually do the shield now too, so that you've got that skeleton finished. That's important. Then you can put that aside. You can finish the arms, glue it into place, and then work on the carapace, such as all the fine details, the emblem, the shoulder pads do take a fair bit of time as well. Join me in the next clip where the skeleton and the arms will be completely finished with all the detail and things on them, and then we'll be ready to work on the carapace. But that will be in part 6.